Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see the calculation for determination of effectiveness of counter flow heat exchanger. Now let me tell you, the heat exchanger are the device in which the heat is transferred from one fluid to the another fluid. So there are two fluids, one is called as a cold fluid and the second one is called as a hot fluid. Generally, the heat exchanger are been classified according to the flow of these two fluids. When these two fluids are in same direction, the cold fluid and hot fluid are flowing in the same direction, it is called as a parallel type of a heat exchanger. When the cold fluid and hot fluid are moving in opposite direction, then we call as a counter type of a heat exchanger, counter flow type of a heat exchanger. Now in this video we are going to determine the effectiveness for this counter type of a heat exchanger. Now let us see what is in the experiment, how the arrangement is done in the experiment. So you have a tube in a tube. So tube in tube type of a heat exchanger it is. So in inner tube you have a hot water. In inner tube you have a hot water, while in outer tube periphery to it you have a cold water, which are moving opposite to each other. So what is going to happen? This hot fluid is going to give its heat to the surrounding cold fluid. So we are going to force the hot fluid through this inner pipe, and we are going to force the cold fluid to the outer pipe. We are going to measure the inlet and outlet temperature of a hot fluid and cold fluid. So here and here we are going to measure the temperature of the hot fluid and cold fluid. This will be the temperature indicator for the hot fluid, and this will be the temperature indicator for the cold fluid. Okay. Now let us see the calculation, observation part first of all. The observation are the hot fluid temperature T1 and T2. So T1 is recorded as 39.8, T2 is recorded as 38.8, while T3 for cold fluid, T3 is recorded as 29.5 and T4 is recorded as 31.0. So as you can see, the hot fluid is going to give it heats to the cold fluid. The temperature decreases 39.8 to become 38.8, while cold fluid is going to gain the heat from the hot fluid, so its temperature goes on increasing. So 29.5 to 31. So which kind of a heat will be involved as there is a change in the temperature? So there will be a sensible heat involved as there is a change in a temperature occurs. Okay? And mercury reading, manometer reading, manometer difference, height HM in mm of Hg, that is in mm of mercury, we have 10. We have recorded 10. The mass of a cold fluid, it is 1000 lph, that is liter per hour. So it will become 1 meter cube per hour. That will become 0.277 kg per second. So I have converted liter per hour into a kg per second. The mass of a hot fluid, we have 800 lph, which will be equal to 0.8 meter cube per hour, which will be equal to 0.222 kg per second. 0.222 kg per second. ठीक है. Now let us do the calculations. As I have told you, the heat involved in it is the sensible heat. Heat involved in it is sensible heat. So what we are going to do, the heat given by the hot water will be calculated first. So I will represent it by QH equal to MH CPH into THI minus THO. What do you mean by THI minus THO? THI, inlet temperature of a hot fluid. THO, outlet temperature of a hot fluid. So it will become, and we have calculated, so it is 0.222. CP, we are going to refer the table for it, and we have got 4200, and temperature difference, it is 39.8 minus 38.8. So you are going to get QH equal to 933.24 watt. 933.24 watt. The second parameter we are going to find out is the LMTD. LMTD represents logarithmic mean temperature difference. So it is called as a LMTD, logarithmic mean temperature difference. So it has been given by LMTD is equal to delta Tm, that is equal to theta 1 minus theta 2 divided by ln of theta 1 by theta 2, where for a counter flow theta 1 and theta 2 are being given by the formula. Let's have the theta 1 and theta 2 are being for counter flow. Counter flow में theta 1 और theta 2 क्या रहेंगे? Now first of all, let's understand how to find theta 1 and theta 2. Theta 1 and theta 2. For counter flow, we need to draw a diagram. At the inlet you have THI, at the outlet you have THO. Okay? At the inlet of cold fluid you have TCI, at the outlet of cold fluid you have TCO. So THI is the temperature of a hot water at the inlet. THO is the temperature of a hot water at the outlet. TCI is the temperature of a cold water at the inlet. TCO is the temperature of a cold water at the outlet. So this is the figure for a counter flow. The arrow shows they are moving. This is for hot fluid, and this second one is for a cold fluid. So they are moving counter way. Okay, so for this, theta 1 is equal to TH, for a theta 1 equal to THI minus TCO, while theta 2 equal to THO minus TCI. So the difference between these two is named as theta 1, and difference between these two is named as theta 2. Okay? So therefore LMTD, which will be equal to delta Tm, is equal to theta 1 minus theta 2 divided by ln of theta 1 by theta 2. So we are going to place the values in it. So here theta 1 is been calculated as THI minus TCO, which will be equal to 39.8 minus, this is capital T, 39.8 minus 31.0, which will be equal to 8.8 degrees centigrade, and theta 2 will be equal to THO minus TCI, which will be equal to 38.8 minus 29.5. That will be equal to 9.3 degrees centigrade. That will be equal to 9.3 degree centigrade. Now let's put the value of theta 1 and theta 2 and find out delta Tm. So it is it will be equal to 8.8 minus 9.3 divided by 8.8 minus 9.3 divided by ln of 8.8 divided by 9.3. So it is going to give me the answer of 9.3 degrees centigrade. So further we need to find out overall heat transfer coefficient. Overall heat transfer coefficient U. How to find out overall heat transfer coefficient? It has been found out by using this formula QH equal to UI into delta T M into area 1. So UI is equal to QH upon delta Tm into area. QH we have already found out, it is 933.24. Delta T we have already found out, it is 9.3 degrees centigrade. 9.09. The difference is 9.09. So what about area? Let's find out area. Area 1 will be equal to pi dl into L. So D is the diameter of the tube of a hot fluid, a fluid carrying a hot fluid, a tube carrying a hot fluid, and L is the length of the tube. So we are going to place the value in it. .0.08331 meter square. So we are going to place the value of area 0.8331 meter square. So UI will become 1239.086 watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay. Now this is the inner overall heat transfer coefficient. Inner overall heat transfer coefficient. Now let us find overall heat transfer coefficient of outer side. Overall heat transfer coefficient for outer side. It has been represented by U naught. Okay? So again we are going to same apply. QC equal to outside we have a cold fluid, so QC equal to UO into delta Tm into AO. Okay? So what is QC? QC is again MC into CPC into TCO minus TCI. So MC it is 0.277, then CPC 4200 into 31 minus 29.5. So you are going to have 1745.1 QC. That will be equal to 1. Okay. So further U naught it will become 45.1 divided by delta Tm 9.04 9.09 into what will be the area? Area for this will become, we will be calculating area outside here. Area outside will be pi do into L. So pi into 0.0264, this will be the diameter, and L is 1.3. So here it will become 0.1078 meter square. 1078 meter square. So area will be more for this cold fluid. It will become 0.1078. Now let's calculate U naught. So U naught is 1790.74 watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay. Now let us move on to find out the effectiveness. The effectiveness of counterflow heat exchanger. Now this is the parameter which we are going to determine. Effectiveness of counter flow heat exchanger. ठीक है, so effectiveness, it has been given by rate of a heat transfer in an exchanger to the maximum possible heat transfer rate. So it is the ratio of rate of a heat transfer to the, this one is actual rate of a heat transfer to the maximum possible heat transfer, maximum possible heat transfer. So it has been given by MC CPC TCO minus TCI divided by MH CPH THI minus TCI. So we will place the values in it. So this is the effectiveness of the heat exchanger. This is the effectiveness of the heat exchanger, counter flow heat exchanger, 0.1817. Thank you all for watching this video, and this is how you need to calculate the effectiveness of the counter flow heat exchanger. The previous two parameters, overall heat transfer coefficient for outer and inner, is the separate parameter, and this is the actual parameter which we need to calculate in a case of a counter flow heat exchanger. While a parallel heat exchanger, what is going to happen in a parallel heat exchanger? The temperature of the hot fluid decreases while the temperature of a cold fluid increases. So this will be the graph of the temperature for a cold fluid. Okay, for a hot fluid, for counter flow, this graph we need to prefer, where the arrows are opposite, while here in a parallel way the arrows are towards in the same direction. Thank you all for watching this video.